Welcome back to the Rim, everyone, and today we have a very special review of a highly known and loved mod, Vanilla Psycast Expanded. Added by the Royalty DLC Psycast in the base game, Psycast enhances your opponent and give them new abilities for combat and day-to-day life. This mod takes that idea and cranks it up the fun dial to 100 by giving a stable and balanced enough class system to the base game as Psycast, adding their own abilities to the mix and giving you a fun progression system to unlock your next tribal blasting psychic abilities. Briefly going over the basics of the mod, there are 15 different class options to choose from. Upon a pawn gaining their first Psylink level, they will gain a random Psycast tree to start in the progress through. By meditating and using their psychic abilities, they can progress to further levels, allowing them to unlock new skills, increase their existing Psyfocus maximum and Neural Heat maximum, as well as unlock entirely different trees altogether. Your maximum level in the base mod of this is 165. This can be increased or decreased, changed with mods or basic XML know-how, although we suggest avoiding the latter version if you're not sure what you're doing. From here, we will go in alphabetical order through the different classes this mod offers, sharing insight into the potential you unlock when using the mod. Before we get to using these awesome powers though, how do you progress through Vanilla Psycast Expanded? Well, you have a few options here as everything is done through base game events. Your first option you'll often be presented is a quest for a fleeing royal. This royal will be fleeing from a weak man-hunting animal such as a dog or cat. Once you accept this quest, they will lead the mad animal to your colony where you'll be able to quickly dispatch it for honor or your chosen colonist. From there, you'll be able to take on your freeholder ceremony, gaining a Psy level for a colonist as well as a royal title that you can build for them during the playthrough. Another option is the counter to the Empire quest. By accepting a deserter from the Empire, this person will join you as a colonist with the information of the location of 2 Psylink neuroformers, which can be used to give your colonists their first level of Psylink as well. The colonist that joins from this quest will be often clad in marine armor, holding a charged weapon, and often have their own level of Psylink. Your third option foregoes the Empire entirely. Focusing on harnessing the innate psychic powers of nature comes the Animatry, where colonists with a nature-type meditation focus can meditate to grow anima grass. Upon growing 20 anima grass through meditation sessions, you will be able to have a colonist link with the Animatry to gain a level of Psylink. There are many other ways to obtain Psylinks with modding, but these are the main 3 in the base game and of course its respective DLC. Now that we've spoke on the mechanics, let's get into the different classes you'll be seeing with this mod installed. First on the list, we will speak of the Archon. This class, the born leader, through might or charisma, they usually find themselves as governors, mayors, or even royalty themselves. The Archon class looks deep into the way of the mind and pulling the best out of pawns, whether it be your own or your enemies. Some of the notable Psycast in this tree are Word of Trust, Word of Pain, Mind Break, Mass Hallucination, and Drain Psy Essence, to name a few. We suggest giving this class to your moral guide, warden, or colony leaders for maximum effectiveness. The Arcotec class is another that focuses on the mind, specifically that of your enemies. A commanding class of the battlefield, Arcotecs demand respect and compliance from their enemies, boasting powerful Psycasts such as Stun, Aggressive Heat Dump, Berserk Pulse, and Neuroquake. Arcotecs will force any battlefield they step upon to kneel to their overwhelming power. Purveyors and controllers of the flow of time, we have the Chronopath. This class takes the idea of time and puts it on their own leash, able to age and de-age the people and world around them to fit their needs seamlessly. Unaffected by the reins of time flowing around them, the Chronopath can be a tool of utility or destruction, with powerful abilities like Word of Foretelling, Craft Time Skip, Time Reversal, and the devastating Timequake. Next time you make a run of this mod, find yourself a Chronopath. You truly won't regret it. Harnessing the very heat of the sun, conflagrators enter the fray with one purpose in their grasp: reduce the problem to ashes. As their name suggests, this class has to do with everyone's favorite stockpile, Threat Fire. This class is a forest's worst nightmare, focusing on a brutal defensive lineup with abilities like Explosion, Breathe Flame, Meteor Shower, and the map Devastating Fire Tornado. A must-have on any purifying crusade against the tribals that killed your beloved Muffalo. I must say, you do need it. Masters of the Heart and managing mood bars. We have the Empath. This class offers none of the offensive that the Conflagrator had, but all the utility you'll ever need to keep those pawns happy and working. Empaths are graced with the ability to boost the general happiness of a colony, with abilities like Word of Joy, a psychic soothe ability for both genders, a mind wipe to reset a colonist, and an ability called Reunion Farskip. When you want to bring all the family of a colonist to one place, caution as hostile pawns remain hostile, and neutral pawns may become hostile or remain neutral and need arresting if you plan for a mass recruitment. This is kind of a funny one. Mom, is that you? Now to cool things off from all this excitement and bring a chill vibe to the list is the Frost Shaper. All jokes aside, this class is a real all-rounder in terms of abilities, offering you solid offense, defense, and utility all in one package. Medieval colonies may find this class extra useful with abilities like Ice Shield, which offers a defense boost and prevents a pawn from feeling cold, or Ice Crystal, which is a personal alternative. Wondering what offense it is? Oh, well, unlock yourself the Snap Freeze or Blizzard skill and watch as raiders start lining up to become your next compliant guest. Following up our last class, we have one that our handy random enthusiasts will enjoy in the Harmonious, a quirky utility-heavy class offering tools of colony protection and probability control. This class can help turn that dire raid of pirates into an event as calm as an asteroid drop. This class boasts the skills such as Mind Control, Luck Transfer, Bend Probability, and the Psi-Focus skill roll, allowing your colonists to change their skills and passions on the fly. Suggested members of the colony for this may be your merchants, doctors, and nurses, as these abilities can affect social impact and tend quality if used properly. Commanding the powers of the undead comes in the Necropath. This class offers you an iron grip over the rules of death, allowing you to steal the vitality of your enemies and raise them to fight their previous friends, all for your benefit. The Necropath comes with abilities such as Life Rot, Ghost Walk, Enthrall, and the powerful Resurrect, when you can raise any colonist to their living state at the cost of a biological finger. As such, with this class, you should look to try and enhance whoever has it with regenerative abilities such as Luciferium, Healer Mexiums, or any biotech enhancements your current mod list may add. This colonist with this class will have 10 chances to resurrect or Mexium any colonist at the cost of a finger, and I'd say that's pretty powerful. Our next class takes the idea of darkness itself and manifests it into raw power. Next in, we have the Night Stalker. The Night Stalker Psy-class works best at night, with its powers being able to affect any tile considered dark. To complement this, they can place areas of impermeable darkness for their enemies and teleport inside them for a surprise attack of a lifetime. Time and time again, Night Stalkers are gifted with various utility and combat abilities such as Darkness, Eclipse, Assassinate, and Night Step. Following our user of obfuscating darkness is our stalwart colony, Defenders. The Protector. A class of defense and care protectors are the colony heroes sung of in ballads, saviors of colonies slated for ruin, and warriors to maintain the peace. This class offers top-tier defense and utility for your frontline colonists with powerful skills like Pain Block, Stabilize, Regrow Limbs, and the fabled Guardian Skip Barrier for mass protections on a warlike scale. Able to move items on an atomical level, making portals for their friends and enemies alike to control the battlefield as they see fit, is the Skip Master, a utility-based Psy-class that offers you unequalable ability to control separate areas of the battlefield through various abilities. Skip Masters have found their place among many colonies on the Rim, offering their abilities to any in need. As said, Skip Masters offer most utility with abilities like Water Skip, Skip Mass Chaos Skip, and Far Skip. Coming into shock and awe is the Static Lord. This Psy-class offers equitable offensive capabilities to the Configurator. Only change is instead of fire, your colonist is using superheated plasma in the form of electricity. Static Lord boasts exceptional offensive capabilities with a couple highly desirable utility skills. You'll likely find yourself using more than once in a playthrough. With skills like Chain Bolt, Recharge, Vortex, Hurricane, and Flash Storm, you might find yourself seeking out a Static Lord to complement your colony's military might. Oh, this next one's one of my favorites. Masters of Machining and Fabrication. These Psi-enhanced folk find themselves to be renowned artisans of the Rim, able to understand any technology at a glance and craft items of legend. The Technomancer. Technomancer. Weighs in their powerful crafting abilities, you will 100% want one of these in your next colony. Technomancers are your maxed out double passion crafters with skills tied directly into crafting and item creation. You won't be disappointed with your next Technomancer, with skills like Mend, Power, Craft, Siren, and Reverse Engineer, which can immediately allow you to craft and research any item you can get your hands on, like that fancy charge rifle you found on a deserter. This next class is what you'd expect out of some of the greatest warriors the front line has to offer in the Warlord. Warlords are self-improvement combat colonists capable of taking the weapons of the Rim and turning them into battlefield-rendering items of mass destruction. Warlords often find themselves to be the one changing the front lines of their enemy despite whatever weapon they've decided to use at the time. Gun, sword, spear, or bottle. They make all these the deadliest weapons with powerful skills such as speed boost, guided shot, kill skip, and mass beckon. As a note and detail for warlords, try coupling them with cybernetics or a war casket to pull the best out of them as they retain access to their psycasting when placed inside one. Hailing from the harshness that nature can offer comes the Wildspeaker. Tribal colonists graced with psi powers often find themselves pushed down this nature-driven path, while colonists of a more sophisticated society cannot even begin to grasp the raw powers this class has to offer. As such, this class can only be attained by a colonist with a tribal equivalent backstory. However, this does not discredit the power of the Wildspeakers. They demand the respect of the nature they once found so harsh. Aiding the colony through natural forces, Wildspeakers are likely to be a colony's rancher or general animal handler, with powerful abilities in their lineups such as Crop Burst, Word of Animals, Animal Allies, Essence Transfer, and Summon Pack. Wildspeakers can turn a 3-to-1 raid into a 5-to-3 raid in your favor. There's also the option of Essence, which can resurrect a colonist at the cost of an animal. Next, we're going to go over the material called Eltex. As the Steam description states, Eltex is a resource often used to make Psycaster gear. Eltex is not only used in the creation of Psycasting gear, but prestige armor. As well, with this mod installed, Eltex being this rare and powerful material is mostly controlled by the Empire, as they're likely to house the most Psycasters and have the military might to make that choice. As such, Eltex can be gifted to the Empire for honor, as well as received in quests from the Empire or special events. However, the sale of Eltex outside of the Empire is heavily disliked, causing relations loss upon sale to factions other than the Empire. Beyond quests offered by the Empire, there is another event called the Eltex Meteor that will drop a quest spot with a deposit of Eltex that can be mined, much like components, in the yield. Small amounts increase based on mining yield or equipped items, and offer a fair amount of wealth in their unrefined form, 167 per unit market value. Moving on to the Eltex gear that can be crafted with this mod, you're offered a nice array of weapons and apparel to make your Psycasters more efficient. First, this mod makes all the Eltex gear added previously by the Royalty DLC craftable, with respective research as well as having enough Eltex on hand. Beyond that, this mod adds new apparel such as the Eltex mask and cape, weapons such as the Eltex sword mace and dagger, or try out the new prestige plate armor for your medieval themed royalty. Next up, we'll talk about the new Storyteller and raid events added by the mod, Basilisk's Bestower. In the Storyteller added by BPE, Basilisk makes it so you'll see more Psycasters in your game, whether in raids as visitors or even in events and quests. Across the board, it is a static 10% chance for a pawn of any type to enter the map with the ability to Psycast. Keep this in mind before you build your stockpile entirely out of wood in case your next raid has a conflagrator looking to take it all. Now, to look specifically at the Psycaster raid, this raid is the same as a regular one, only every hostile pawn is given Psycasting capabilities. Due to limitations in what we'll say is the base game of Rimworld, only 2 factions have access to Psycasting abilities by default, this being the Empire and the tribal factions. Because of this, getting tribals can be a test, and getting a full-on Psycaster raid of them can spell the end of even the most Glitter World level colonies. I'd like to thank everybody that donates to the channel. We wouldn't be able to do this stuff without you. We've reached the end of the video, so if you guys liked it, please give us a thumbs up, comment anything interesting that you know down below, and we'll see you guys in the next one.